Hello and welcome to Bump Love. Now, as mothers, we are constantly criticizing ourselves and judging ourselves. We are just never good enough, you know? And we want to talk today on the show about that one moment or two moments that you have felt like the worst mom ever. Ladies, I'm sure there's like an entire page of moments that you have felt like, man, I am a horrible mother. It's confession time, please. Feel free.
I know. Confession time, yes, the moments are really many, but just trying to figure out one that stands out, like one that I remember, that because just gives me jitters. I think this one was with Makil, my third boy.
Yeah.
I think he was a bit of a toddler coming to 1 year, and he has always been enthusiastic. He's always never in one place. You're always having to collect him and fetch him. So there are times when you let go, you're like, really, I can't cope, I can't keep up. And of course, when an accident happens per se, you're guilty. You're like, oh, I should have done this.
Yeah.
So there's this one time when he was trying to climb up a bed, and you know, you keep telling them, please stop, don't do this, you're going to hurt yourself. So he fell and hit his cheek on one of those drawers, and he got a cut. You guys, I felt bad. I'm like, I should have just carried him away. Like, I knew that an accident would happen, and I felt really bad. Every time I look at his cheek and the scar that left, I'm like, okay, this is guilt. Like, I'm part of that story. I should have stopped that. So I felt really bad. Yeah, there's a bit of a scar. It's not so deep, but it's there.
It's like a reminder.
It's like a reminder of my bad mom moment.
Motherhood.
That's what stands out.
Those would be many now. If that's where you come from when you say the moments there are so many, then mine would also be many. But I don't know. I've never felt like, I feel like children are children. They've fallen. What to do? I'm sorry. Move along. Let's go. As long as nobody dies. Yeah. But if mine is a moment, I've always been easy on myself as a mom. Let me say, I hear moms say, oh, but I feel like the worst mom in the world, but I don't know, I've always been quite easy on myself, and mostly because sometimes I feel I can't control my child 100%, so I can only do what I can, and what if I can't do it, that's it. But that the moment in my life when I felt like, well, maybe, I don't know if I felt like the worst mom, I'm sure I did, but maybe I used to psych myself up, was when I was going through my divorce. Because I chose to remove my child from this home. So what I think where the conflict really is when you hear many moms in bad relationships and bad marriages and unhappy settings, environments like that, they'll always tell you, no, I'm staying for the children. So there was always that thing, and then whenever people are talking to you, especially the elders, they're saying, but what about your child? And you know deep down that children really need some kind of stability in a home, in that nuclear environment. And I knew because I was like all over the place with my emotions, and if either adult, the mom going through that, then of course it must be transferring onto my child. Yeah, they know, because even when you're ill, when you're unhappy, when you're upset, they feed off it. They can. So I in that period, and maybe it went on for a year, of a period where I felt, oh man, I don't know what the future holds. All I know, I made a selfish decision to remove myself from an unhappy place without much thought on him, because my thought process was me first. My child can't be happy if I'm not. And at that time, I didn't even know if it was 100, if that was true. Of course, it's later now that I'm like, I know I made the right choice. I know I did the right thing. But in making that decision, there was so much noise around me. Like trying to make me feel that, no, what you're doing is wrong, and you should be thinking about the child and gumaring and trying harder, being a better wife and mama for your child, like do everything for your child. You put aside your unhappiness and your sadness. So I think in that moment is when I was like, oh my God, shit, I cannot be a good mom today. But in hindsight, I know I did the right thing. But at that time, I felt like the worst mom. That really was it.
That was really
Other moments, no.
It's so deep. But I'm glad that you're a happier mom and you can be happy for your child, of course.
I think one of the things that you talked about was, man, which got me and which kind of reminded me of what my own experience was. Now, me, that day I felt like the worst mom was a full entire day. So, I don't know, I get up in the morning, every day seems like really, really normal. Get up, take the kids to school, blah, 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 and all of that. And then I forgot them. This is not forgetting at the cradle, this is forgetting at school.
Wow, Manuela.
Now, on that particular day, unfortunately, Blake had a really, really high temperature, a very, you know, those bad temperatures. The school tried their best to reach me,
you.
and they did not get me at all. Like,
Were you busy?
they absolutely failed to get me. Guys, when I tell you that day I felt like the worst mom, I cannot start to even to explain what happened. Anyway, they get to Brian. Brian drops everything he's doing, whatever, takes the baby. Brian looks for me to be with Blake in hospital.
And you were nowhere.
Nothing. My phone was off. Everything was off. I'm still coming. That day has not yet ended.
My God.
Blake is better. He feels better. Somehow he has this thing where he really, really loves school. So he says, please take me back to school. I'm feeling okay. That's fine. They take him back to school. Brian knows that I'm the one who always picks up the kids. We reach home. I don't have the kids on me. The kids have been left in school. My mom is the one who actually, they got to my mom, who's our next of kin. She goes like 9 p.m., gets my children bawling, in tears, crying. They bring them to me, they are crying. They're like, Mommy, how could you forget us? Now, remembering that was a day, there was a prayer day. It was a prayer day, so usually many parents are there for a long time. But now parents left. Me, I forgot the prayer day. Parents left.
Oh, wow.
My kids stayed. Good Lord. I'm not yet done. After they finished crying, I said, okay, you bring your bags and your containers. I hadn't packed.
Manuela.
I was like, but what in heaven happened today? So I remember going to the kids, telling them I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. Said good night, and then just went and bawled in my pillow and cried. I was just like, God, how did this happen? For Brian to come and tell me, I went to hospital. I was just like, how did this all happen in one freaking day? Yeah, because Blake wanted to go back to school or whatever. I felt horrible. And you know, for them kids, like after they've said, Mommy, you forgot, then they come and they hug you, tell you I missed.
Oh my God.
I was besides myself. So as
Manuela, what were you doing?
Okay, so it was those days.
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head.
Are you judging me?
I'm feeling like the Bianca.
Like, what were you doing?
Okay, so it was those things where you have like these deadlines, grant proposals, blah, blah, blah. Then you have you're speaking at an event. Then after that you have I think I had a presentation, like, you know, defending your proposal. So of course my phone couldn't be on because I was in a place of presentations. But and then the evenings I knew I was supposed to go to the prayer day, but I didn't. I can't tell you that I remember what exactly happened, or just the remains of the entire day. And then going home and then finding the kids. So I guess in the morning when I got up, so I packed empty containers, like
you put
nothing.
containers in your bag.
And it's not like
I've also done it.
You
before.
have. People.
Put an empty container in the bag.
Just like
Something not to pack.
But you pack, they are empty.
You're like, okay, let them just go with the container.
Wow, Rosette, wow.
No, but mine actually, but for mine, what really happened was that I had brought out
Same
two
to
sets
me.
of containers. So, and I packed the things, I
Same
packed the
to
juice,
me.
and then I picked the empty
Thank
container.
you. Same to me. That's exactly what happened to me. The containers which were packed were there. But I think in my mind I hadn't packed because I packed the night before. I don't know. I just got new
There's so
containers,
much
put
going
them there,
on.
then opened, then covered them, then packed them. Friends, that day was the worst day
I can imagine.
ever. I'll never forget it.
I'm curious though, how did you snap out of it? How did you like
I'm
encourage
still
it?
crying about
That,
it.
I was just about to
now.
ask. It's still, why is it? It still bothers you
Yes,
up
it
to
still
now.
bothers me, but I think also those are some of the things that just turned my life around for me to just reorganize myself. I was just like, no, Manola, this cannot go
happen.
on. It just
Yeah.
can't go on.
Yeah.
So obviously, what had disturbed me was probably the night. Like I was just like, this overwhelm has to end. This is the last time I ever feel like. So I think crying in that pillow that day, I was like, no, this is the last time my work and my life are not in sync.
Yeah.
This
Like,
is the
I
end.
need to
And
know.
so from that day, I got over it. But to say that that was the last time, it just.
I feel strange even sharing because mine does not pale in comparison to. We really are. Oh my gosh. Like I feel like the reasons I think I am the worst mom are. There's stuff that I can get over anyway. So when Micah was about 6 months, or maybe Micah fell a lot when he was a baby. And here's one. No, it wasn't even me. Like I would put him on the bed,
Then you hear boo.
and then I hear a third.
Okay.
You are looking for where?
Right, like where it is swollen, the boy is inconsolable. I'm trying, and yet the following day I would still do the same thing, and he would. So he was at that stage where he had sort of started learning how to move himself on the bed, and then like he doesn't know that now the bed has ended. So
The bed would be your bed.
yes, my bed, none of the crib, my bed.
That
and
is
I'll be like, let me
one
put him like
thing I
on
have
the wall.
avoided with my kids because I know.
Oh my God.
That's why I was saying, yo, that is like.
They see that the bed has ended.
So really,
They don't
young 6 months.
Yeah, they don't-
They're just
they-
starting to crawl.
Yeah. So that crying where he's
Hey.
I'm like, oh my God, what sort of mother is? How do you leave your child
I
on the
know.
bed to fall? And it happens so
Then
many
even
times.
tomorrow.
And then the
No,
next
I
day,
thought that's the worst part now. We're like, hey, Rachel. No, but pillow, you don't put
Oh my
pillows on the
goodness.
end.
in the end. Anyway, so
When we are struggling in math, you don't
You
quarrel
don't-
so much.
no, I
That
really,
you
I
know
really
where
won't.
the
I really
the
won't.
oblongata, the medulla where it hits.
Oh my goodness. So there you have it. You've had our experiences. As moms, like I said in the beginning, we're constantly judging ourselves. So what is your experience? Share with us on our social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. And I guess the moral of the story is let's not be too hard on ourselves. Let's take on Pumla's outlook on life. Don't be hard on yourself as a mom. You are doing a fantastic job. Yeah? You are doing a great job as a mom, and you're doing the best that you can. Are you an entrepreneur? Prudential is running a series of webinars just for you. Lots of information, so remember to sign up. For more details, get onto the Bump Love social media platforms and you can sign up for those webinars. Also, remember to sign up for a Pru EduSave account. Go to www.prudential.ug. Until next time, with love from Bump Love.